As Lysandra ran down the field at a full sprint, she wondered to herself if this was the worst moment in her military career. There were, honestly, quite a few previous moments that could take that title. There was the assault on an Ur camp that nearly got her killed, the night raid on a Skaven nest that nearly got her killed, and that one siege on a Femir stronghold that, fitting to form, nearly got her killed. Compared to those actions, this should have been as easy as a Stormcast holding a baby. Instead, it was more like trying to con a Dordan out of his gold. Nearly impossible and prone to get you chopped in half. The plan itself seemed sound. Part of a unit of guard, she and the rest of her team were going to track a small army of Bloodbound marching upon their outpost. Once located, they were to remain hidden. Their mission simply to scout out the Bloodbound's movements and perhaps get an idea of their composition. With such an obvious target in front of them, it was thought the Bloodbound would be more interested in the future slaughter than a small group hiding in the bushes. They didn't account for the ultimate enemy of any soldier, especially for the warriors of the Bloodbound: boredom. While the main Bloodbound army was marching towards the Free Guild position, a few warriors found that it had been an uncomfortably long time since they had killed something. Either through self-restraint or self-preservation, they chose not to kill their fellow warriors, and instead explored the nearby plain, looking for an easy kill. Which was how 5 Bloodbound chasing a plain boar came upon the guard's position. The reaction was immediate. From the Bloodbound, it was a yell of joy at future slaughter. From the guard's commanding officer, it was just 2 orders. Lysandra, go. Guard, hold your position. Lysandra's legs were already moving before her mind could react. Years of military training overriding any feelings of guilt or shame she felt at leaving her brothers and sisters in arms to die. But as those emotions soon passed, she knew it was the only option that made sense. Out of all of them, she was the fastest. The one soldier with the best chance of taking what they had learned to the rest of the Free Guild forces. Because of that logic, she would run while 6 members of the Free Guild Guard would try to buy time by holding off 5 Bloodbound murderers. She wouldn't have long. It was only after 10 minutes of running for her life that she heard the first yells behind her. Glancing back, she saw the 5 Bloodbound charging in her direction, some with fresh blood on their armor and flesh, most of it most likely not theirs. She continued her sprint, exhaustion previously slowing her down, but fear giving her a burst of speed. As she neared a familiar rock formation, she started screaming at the top of her lungs, begging for the Bloodbound to spare her, giving her best impression of a sniveling coward. That had the reaction she expected as the Bloodbound screamed curses at her, describing the horrible ways they would rip apart her body for her cowardice. And as she turned a corner behind a rock wall, they rushed after her, expecting to see a cowardly soldier curled up into a ball. What they found instead was 20 handgunners with primed pistols pointing at their direction. The handgunners unleashed their shots, ripping holes into the Bloodbound. In one volley, 4 of the 5 Bloodbound were dead. The 5th staggered, dropping to one knee. Although his body was ravaged, his mouth continued working, cursing them for not facing him in melee, swearing Khorne would rip them apart in his blood forges. He continued his tirade, until a shot from Lysandra's pistols entered his mouth and escaped the back of his skull. When he fell, Lysandra turned to the ranking sergeant and saluted. As the sergeant and those under his command saluted back, she turned towards the position of their camp and kept running. She still had a mission to complete. What does it mean to be a simple human but choose to face down monsters and daemons? To serve despite the horrors of the realm continuously throwing the worst your way? To fight evil despite not having the otherworldly ability of the Stormcast or the magic of the elves to strengthen you? It means you are likely a candidate for the Free Guilds, the fighting arm of the free peoples of the realm. Willing to guard the newly established cities and fortresses in the reclaimed realms and lend your strength in the endless battles against chaos. To be one of the free peoples to serve the citizens of the realms. To be their sword, their shield, and if all else fails, their last wall against the darkness. Hey guys, this is Arvandis, and I want to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like these short stories / descriptions of various races in Age of Sigmar, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll keep doing it. Not only Age of Sigmar, perhaps other games that I have interest in. Anyway, thanks for listening, and see you next time.